Don't forget to check out the Hockey Podcast Network's newest affiliate, NHLShop.com. That's right, the official NHL merchandise page. Right now, they're giving 20% off orders over $25 with code NHLICE25. Also, if you use our link that we're going to tweet out after this episode, you can help support us and the other hosts at the Hockey Podcast Network.
This is the Hockey Podcast Network, your home for hockey talk on every team in the NHL.
Welcome to Offside by a Mile, the podcast for anything and everything Colorado Avalanche, and the official Avs podcast for the Hockey Podcast Network. I'm depressed today. Are you?
I mean, isn't this just normal Avalanche life?
Well,
I've grown accustomed to.
Yeah, but we haven't had MacKinnon not playing hockey yet.
I mean,
this is a whole new low.
Yeah, when you're considering the year that we've had and then the year that McKinnon's had, and then you think about life without MacKinnon. Why do I keep wanting to say McDavid? I don't know.
Because you were watching that super fancy McDavid documentary right before we recorded.
Right. But yeah, it doesn't calm any nerves. It doesn't help the situation at all. I don't even. It's just like, come on, man.
Thank fuck Makar's back.
Seriously. The one shiny spot.
We are recording this prior to the Wednesday night game against the Rangers.
The
Rangers. Obviously, game's a little late to squeak in and recording after that, so that's that. We're going to cover the Sharks and the Kings game. Lovely Kings game that was.
Oh, man.
But yeah, the main topic of conversation is Nathan MacKinnon and coronavirus. But
yeah.
I'm not an expert on that, so let's play amateur doctor with Nathan MacKinnon. What the hell happened?
Honestly, I don't know.
I don't think anyone knows when.
'Cause I'm trying to pinpoint it too looking back, but I don't know. It was sometime in the second, I think it happened. Maybe even the third.
I think it was 2 or 3 shifts before he left.
Yeah, and I literally just remember thinking after a while, Landeskog has been out there twice, and where's MacKinnon? Why is MacKinnon not on the line? And then I'm like, wait, he keeps going.
There's nobody else to play with Landeskog. He can't get demoted now.
Well, I think they had Comfer out there with him, and I'm like, okay, they're not benching MacKinnon, so where is he? And then eventually we hear, oh, he's down the tunnel and gone. And from the most information legit I got from this was someone's tweet that was sitting behind the bench in the stands, and what they said is they saw MacKinnon come off from a shift. He didn't look right. He was talking to the trainer for a bit. The trainer then talked to the other trainer for a bit. Then the trainer talked to Bednar. Then the trainer went back to MacKinnon, and MacKinnon went down the tunnel. So, I don't, we've already kind of heard that it's hopefully only 1 to 2 weeks.
A week or 2, yeah. Fingers crossed.
Oh my God, hopefully that's true, because if we lose him for more than 2 weeks, that's really trickling pretty close to the playoff, cutoff here.
Yep.
And my God, is that scary. So.
And then with all of that, you have the Martin Kaut call up, send back down, call back up over the last 3 days.
Yeah.
Or sorry, I guess 4 days, because I think he got called up on Sunday and then didn't play.
Yeah, and then traveled with...
Or maybe it was Monday. I think he got called up Monday, didn't play in L.A.
Right, yeah.
Then Tuesday got sent down, played with the Eagles.
Yeah.
And then is playing Wednesday night.
Yeah.
Well, would have played yesterday for those listening Thursday.
Which, so it tells me, obviously, that was just kind of an emergency, which I guess they kind of said was an emergency call-up.
But it's weird. It's a weird...
Kind of sucks for him, too.
Yeah.
It's like, dude, like, this doesn't help me at all.
It's just so weird. Like, okay, we're going to send him down because we don't want him to play 9 games. And it's like, actually, we're going to call him back up. Actually, scratch that. Actually, we need him.
Yeah.
It's like, can you guys figure it out?
But, I mean... I guess, it's good that he didn't play, honestly, because now at least we have this extra game, and honestly, who knows what's going to happen? It seems like...
At this point, and this is obviously recency bias, I don't give a shit. Play him if we need him.
Oh, seriously, though.
Desperation calls for desperate things, and I don't think he's going to break the bank in year 4. That could change.
Yeah, you never know, I guess.
100% change.
Yeah.
I mean, fingers crossed he does break the bank,
yeah.
that means he killed it.
Right, that means he performed well. So.
But, like, he's probably not going to be a $8 million guy in year 4,
you would
right?
think. Hopefully not.
Well, I mean...
but also, maybe.
Legit,
maybe,
hopefully he is, but there's a long way to go to get there.
Yeah. But,
But the fact that they have... And this, again, remember back to when he got called up the first time. Nobody really liked the call-up.
Yeah.
And
again, actually, yeah.
I think you and I can agree. Like,
yeah.
I've never watched an Eagles game.
Yeah, yeah.
I need to start watching Eagles games 100%. Especially for any one of you that listens that lives in Colorado or the Denver area or whatever. If you have the ability to go to an Eagles game, watching your team's farm team is A, the cheapest way to watch your young talent, and B, it's a way different atmosphere. It's a way more fun style of game.
Yeah, and
especially when
I've
you
never
got...
been. Well, actually, I went to an AHL game like way back. I
think
it was called AHL.
Was it the Abbotsford?
No, I went
because
I lived in Winnipeg.
I went to the Abbotsford game when they played in Calgary that one preseason.
Okay,
which was interesting.
Okay.
I've gone to a Marlies game before.
Yeah,
it's cool.
Yeah, I mean,
it's just a different experience, right? Because it's not. Well, these guys are playing for jobs versus NHL guys that are playing to win.
Yeah,
it's different. It's just like watching junior hockey or watching any of these, like, the World Juniors and stuff like that. It's good hockey to go watch.
Mm-hmm.
But then the fact that it's cheap, it's like, you don't have to go spend everything to go to a game.
Right.
Plus, the more you support that team, the longer they stay around. And you can do things like call a guy up and send him back down and call him back up in the span of 24 hours.
Because he doesn't move. He's just like answering a phone.
All right.
At his house.
Okay. I'm on that roster now? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'm on that roster now. All right.
All right, well, I just practiced, so I'll just shower up and head over.
Like, think about teams, and this isn't really as common now, but, like, I think the Red Wings used to have a team, like, their farm team used to be, like, hours away. And, like, I mean, like, flying hours. Like,
yeah, I mean,
there's a lot of NHL teams that don't have, well, you look at, like, a lot of the Northwest teams, like Vancouver, Edmonton, Calgary, like, most of their farm teams are in California.
Yeah. Which is kind of weird. It's just odd.
It is, because you'd think in Canada you could, handle that, but it's the travel.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess that's true. The travel when it comes to AHL. Yeah.
It's like the Leafs used to be in St. John's. It's like, well, that was great until you factored into, paying for teams to travel to you.
Pretty damn far away.
Because, for those that don't know, the AHL is not like the NHL where you play everyone. It's strictly money. So it's like, oh, if you want somebody to travel, it's like, okay, well, we'll come play you, but we want you to pay some of the bills.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. So, like, when it gets to playoff time, you're looking, this team's played, they've played 8 times this year. They didn't even play that team from California or whatever. And you're just like, this is really freaking weird.
Yeah.
Anyway, but yeah, so it's like, hopefully, fingers crossed, MacKinnon's back in a week.
Yeah.
But again, I think we've
missed
said
like
this,
3 games.
We've said this a million times. I don't give a shit about the end of March as much as I give a shit about the middle of April.
Yeah.
Right? Like, I want you ready for the middle of April, but that doesn't mean you need to play the middle of March.
Yeah. I mean, right now, especially, obviously you don't want to like give up points, but we're in a good situation when it comes to the standings and everything. Yeah, we'd like to catch St. Louis, but who knows if it's in the books. We're still only 2 points back. You never know. We got a game in hand.
Exactly. That game in hand is still there, and it's still within reach.
And we've still been competing, Like we just won against San Jose. The Kings game was
and then
a little bit different.
Now, one thing to point out, and they talked about on the broadcast, the Kings have won 6 in a row.
Yeah.
What?
It's weird. Dude.
Like what?
It's weird what happens to a team when, honestly, they're like underperforming for most of the year, and then they get to a point when nothing really matters, and then they just kind of free flow it and kill everything in their path.
It seems to happen to every team that's bad but not bad.
Yeah, exactly.
Ottawa kind of had that this year. San Jose had it a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah.
Anaheim had it. Detroit's just bad.
Well, they clinched 31st spot. So
isn't
that sad,
are you serious?
Dude? Yeah. Wow. I saw that today. Clinched 31st. Isn't it bad when the worst team clinches worst spot before the best team clinches best spot? Maybe not.
No,
but not even best spot. No one's even clinched a playoff spot yet.
No, I think
I
think Boston
did
has.
Boston know?
Yeah.
Do they have a letter? I haven't really.
Actually, they don't have a letter on the.
So you're saying there's a chance.
Yeah, they're pretty much well, I guess like they're pretty much clinched to first in the Atlantic.
But like I don't think I've ever really seen a team clinch last that early.
Well, yeah, anyway. So like no, let's have this conversation because it's kind of weird and I don't really want to talk about these hockey games because they sucked. Even the San Jose game was super weird and not great.
Yeah.
But yeah, so like my thought instantly is no, man, there's way more teams that are normally competing for first.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, there's normally a lot more teams competing for last, too.
Yeah, right?
Like, look, so Ottawa is, well, if we go straight across the league, Detroit's last. Ottawa is second last, tied with LA. LA has one less game played. At 62 points. That's 23 points ahead of Detroit.
Yeah.
That is insane.
Yeah. I don't
remember.
So
I don't remember how bad the next bad team was in the Avs year. Was that? That wasn't the Buffalo year.
I don't feel like it was really far. Like I don't think it was that far. Like that's a long ways away. Like you're a lot worse than every other team, which is brutal.
That is unbelievable how bad that is.
Yeah,
it's a really good question though. Like. It's obviously more impressive to clinch first. I mean, but it's kind of like, I guess it's March. Well, we can talk about March Madness a little bit. It's kind of like, I think last year there was somebody who had a perfectly wrong bracket.
Oh.
They were 0 for like 16 or something to start. And it's just like, it's not as impressive.
So what you're telling me is this year his friend is just going to pick every other team that he picks.
I would.
You picked them? All right, thank you.
But it's just like obviously it's not as impressive as a perfect bracket because you have to pick more rounds. But if you go over in the first round, that is almost equally impressive. Yeah. That's probably the same. Like it's impressive to clinch first super early, but it's like a little bit less impressive to be last if you're Detroit. Just like to be that bad. The difference is like, this is a pro hockey team where you're, judged on winning and you're that bad.
Yeah.
For those counting at home, minus 122 after 71 games. So that's bad.
Killing it.
I can't.
Boy, can that team keep the goals out of their net.
Man, I just can't believe it. And like, I saw something where people were like, man, if it wasn't for Bernier, this would be even worse. And it's just like, really?
Ooh.
Really?
And that's saying something right there. I mean, that team needs I don't even know.
Bernier's been on some bad teams.
Yeah.
Because he was on the Leafs' bad team, too.
Yeah.
What a gong show. Anyway, I'm gonna avoid coronavirus for now. Sunday, the Avs played the Sharks after our episode, or after we recorded our episode. Turned into a positive game where the Avs got 2 points. Thankfully,
Yeah.
stopped the losing skid. Short-lived.
Yeah, I mean,
Interesting game, to say the least. I didn't actually, this is important. They scored 4 goals for the first time
Right.
in
and it
a
mattered.
month and a half, and it mattered because
it was needed.
couldn't play defense with the 2-goal lead.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I don't know where you want to start.
I mean, I don't know.
The first goal of the game comes on the PK. Well, San Jose's power play.
Yeah.
But, and we talked about this, I think, was it last episode where we talked about Jost's interference, like super bad interference call?
Oh, yeah.
This is exactly what the ref thought he saw
Oh, yeah.
on Kamenev's penalty, where Kamenev's trying to hold the blue line and turning and moving, and then he takes out Thornton.
Right.
I think that's what the ref saw Jost. Like, he thought he saw Jost do.
Yeah. I would assume. I mean, there's... Yeah.
But it's just really funny that, like, almost back-to-back games, you're like, that's what we were talking about.
Yeah.
That's a penalty.
Just like a reminder of exactly what we're talking about.
Yeah. You want to watch some video? Here you go.
Yeah.
We'll make some for you. But yeah, this goal, man, I think the first 3 goals in this game are just like bounces. If I remember right. But this one, it's a block shot that ends up on Joe Thornton's stick with a wide open net. Sweet.
Yeah.
Frankie, why didn't you stop that?
Come on, man.
Brutal.
Get the Superman going. Yeah. That's too bad. I mean, it's just decently executed power play, and Thornton wide open with at least half a net. Should probably be going in.
Before that, I forgot about this. Was the Couture puck to the face that knocked him out of the game, unfortunately. Which is just like, man,
he's had some bad luck over the years.
I don't remember a season where this many guys have gotten hit in the face with pucks.
That too. Yeah, it's happened quite a few times this year.
Like Calvert just started the whole train and just kept rolling down the tracks, apparently, because guys are just getting smoked left, right, and center.
Skates in the
eye.
And like, yeah, it's pretty crazy, man.
So yeah, 1-0 Sharks. A couple of pretty good chances in between, and then the Avs get a bounce. MacKinnon this time. Classic one-timer.
Yeah.
Not so classic on the setup. Again, I think this was a shot block that goes right on McKinnon's tape for a one-timer into the back of the net.
Yeah.
That he just barely snuck inside the post. And you're like, okay, we didn't have to go that crazy, but sure.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was like a Landy shot, and it went back to Landy, and then he feeds it over. I'm trying to think. Oh yeah, it's just Confer missing the net. Oh no, yeah, it is off the rebound, right? And then he just feeds it over to Mac.
Right.
Pounds it in.
Right.
Yeah,
right,
so
right.
I remember watching. This is like just when I started watching the game, and I was like, okay, well, like, it's a decent power play. Actually, dangerous chances going on. People driving the net.
Confer trying to be a superstar.
Yeah, yeah.
Looked like
it worked.
Looked like he was going to go between the legs and then thought better of it.
Yeah, this guy can't do this. But yeah,
right.
if it weren't for the LA game and we knowing what happens, we'd be like, oh yeah, MacKinnon's he's back here.
MacKinnon's heating up.
He's heating up here. Isn't that just that's so classic too, man?
So
oh god. So just watch out. Whoever has a good game tomorrow, they're probably going to get injured. It's like, no, we need a string of games. Actually, it's like Rantanen. Oh yeah, he's coming back. He's back to Moose status here, and he's gone.
I can't say his name because it's been happening for a string of games.
Oh,
and
I know who you're talking about. We don't need that again.
We don't. He who shall not be named is not having a great time at all.
Yeah.
Speaking of, he scores the second goal of the game for the Avs.
And he may or may not have touched that one.
Yeah. But yeah, okay. I thought I saw I remembered this goal differently in my head. But yeah, it was the rebound that went to Landy and then the sweet pass over to MacKinnon.
Yeah.
And again, what the hell are the Sharks supposed to do on something like that?
Yeah, it was like, it was the equalizer. Both goals are kind of just like, yeah, you're not stopping that. That's what, man advantage does for you right there. So, at least we even up the special teams score there too, which is good.
Yep. The second goal of the game is MacKinnon absolutely dusting. What the heck's his name? I can't even remember. One of the newer Sharks defensemen.
Oh yeah, I can't remember who it is either.
I didn't remember 51 Circa or something. I don't know. Doesn't matter. He gets dusted by MacKinnon, and then Jones thinks he makes the save. So he's just sitting there like trying to hold on, and Simek. That's who it is. Yeah. Jones is trying to hold on to the rebound as he like slides out of the net, and Landeskog's just like, "Oh, thanks. Here we go."
Yep. Simple.
Which, ordinarily I'd kind of feel bad for how bad MacKinnon dusted Simic or whatever.
Welcome to.
But
yeah,
it's been a long time coming, and I missed it from MacKinnon.
Yeah, he's really starting to. Is what I was just about to say. Like,
he's
come on, man.
He's gonna carry on when he comes back, Jared.
Yeah, of course he will. He's Nate MacKinnon. We're not worried about that. It's just when he's not here, I don't know what the hell we're gonna do. But
a couple minutes later, the Sharks tied up because why wouldn't they?
Like right away.
This is just what it feels like is always happening with the Avs in the last 3 or 4 games. It's
happened too much.
They do go up one, or maybe they tie a game quick, and then like right after the other team scores.
Yeah.
And then they'll score again to now extend the lead or go up and stuff. And it's just like, man.
Well, and it's also just like, how many times have we had goals that are literally replicating this one? Pretty much. It's like this one's a shot block. We've had the terrible pinch by Graves that led to the awful all-around terrible Avs presence on that goal.
Well, so
who was
how many breakaways
and breakaways? Yeah.
Has this team given up in the last 2 weeks?
It's been a lot.
And like this one, again, not the greatest luck when you want to talk about it like that. But it's a shot block, which means you had control of when you shot the puck, right?
Yeah.
And it's frustrating. I mean, unfortunate for Frankie. It's not the greatest. Like 5-hole, you never like to get beat 5-hole, obviously, but
it's a pretty greasy spot when you're on a breakaway.
Yeah, Melker Karlsson picks the perfect time to let it rip and catches Frankie. Basically, just again, it's 5-hole saves are 99% timing.
Yeah, right.
And if you can get a goalie in the mid, like it's hard to kind of explain. You're not necessarily in the middle of your stance, but like maybe you got to have a C cut where you're kind of falling back on the net a little faster because Karlsson was flying in on him.
Yeah.
If all of a sudden you're halfway in a move, you're not going to get down in time to get the 5-hole shut.
Yeah, like it.
And
if you're both leaving at the same time, if that's how you want to call it, the 5-hole shot's gonna make it before you can save it.
You're beating them
right?
Every time.
So why do you think so many people shoot 5-hole on breakaways?
Exactly, right? And it's a timing thing. Whereas going upstairs, that's a shot placement thing.
There's much more to think about.
Yeah,
I think.
like yes. Everything's all about timing, and if you label it, like if you're just staring at the top corner, it doesn't matter when you shoot or where you put it, the goalie is going to get it.
Mm-hmm.
But it's just more or less, more than anything with a 5-hole shot, it's timing.
Mm-hmm.
And Karlsson nails it on this one.
Yep. He's got some wheels, too.
He does. And
took right off.
I know this is normal, but like, why did Erik Karlsson have to sign in San Jose? Like... Why does there have to be 2 Karlssons that are spelled the same?
I know, right?
I mean, it's probably better than like John Karlsson and Melker Karlsson being on the same team. But at the same time, it's like, what there was no Carlsons in the NHL, and then all of a sudden there's 3,
Yeah, no, there's a lot.
and 2 of them play on the same team. And you're like, what
Yeah, of course. Classic.
A couple of minutes later, not even like a minute and a half, Landeskog smashes the post.
Yep. Classic.
Surprise.
Classic. Yeah. And I mean, immediately I was like, here we go again, too. But shortly after that, he actually, makes good and gets his, I don't know, retribution.
Sure. What is that for him? 16th of the year?
Yeah, 16th of the year, second with the Avs, right? I think that's just his second goal.
Like 20 seconds before he scores, though, Frankie, classic hockey right here. Big save at one end and go-ahead goal at the other.
Yeah, we know that all too well.
Evander Kane strips Mac
Right.
at the blue line for another breakaway.
Yeah,
And Frankie absolutely stones him with the glove hand.
right.
In tight. I thought Evander had him, but didn't get it up high enough.
Yeah.
And then Avs win the face-off, go back down the ice. Wham, bam, thank you, ma'am. Vladislav Namestnikov.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty nice play, actually. Very, very Vlad goal, I would say.
Yeah.
Right? Like just kind of what's been accustomed here. Just working hard. And I don't know what Jones is supposed to do.
Yeah. It's good move in front. And I mean, yeah.
Right? Like
They've been I can't say that. I can't say it presence term anymore. They were really finding some chemistry, which is
they were
interesting.
killing it. They were. They really were.
And man, it's gonna be so weird. Like the top line is gonna feel so weird now because I don't know exactly what they're gonna be planning on doing, and I guarantee there's gonna be about 3 or 4 different combinations that they're gonna throw out in that first line.
Well, I want to get to that, but I want to get to that in the Kings game.
Yeah,
Because it's something else at the end of that one, that's for sure.
yeah, but like, I mean, we already talked about Namestnikov, but he's been looking really good. I feel like that's just been a really solid pickup, especially for Price. Like, I don't know.
For a fourth.
It was a good call. It was a very, very good call.
That's why you don't go spend on guys like Taylor Hall.
I mean, right? Like, I don't know if we were talking about this in this podcast, but usually, it's those tiny little pickups that are the more game changers, right? When it comes to...
Well, especially when you're a team like the Avs that has a top 6 like they do.
True, yeah. It's not like we needed as much as people wanted to impose their crazy theories about what we needed at trade deadline.
Yeah.
We did not need a top player like that. We needed pretty much what Vlad's given us right now, so it's perfect.
That's the end of the second, pretty much. There's, some nice saves either way, but nothing crazy that I can remember at the moment. I'm probably forgetting something.
I mean, the one thing that definitely drew my attention throughout the rest of the period was, we already talked about him a bit, but Gabe Landeskog just freaking popping off this dude. And, like, lots of pressure. That top line was playing with, like, some threatening pace at this point in the game. And actually getting a lot of pressure. Drew 2 penalties, 2 slashes, or I guess it was a slash and a hook, 2 times in a row on Gabe. So he drew 2 penalties later on in that. Had a little bit of 5-on-3 time. Of course, we can't get penalty or power play goals when it matters the most. That seems to be another thing about the power play.
Nah.
Is there's no clutch power play goals. Like when? It's usually if we get a power play goal, it's like early in the game, like this one, where it's like, okay, sweet. And then when we have an important 5-on-3 power play and we can't do anything, it's like, oh my God. And I remember the whole power play. Just terribly predictable. It's terrible. I was watching the LA power play. They have a really great way to enter the zone that's really similar, but they don't just rely on one thing happening to get into the zone. It's not always, here, MacKinnon, come up behind me here. You're freaking 40 feet behind me. No one knows what's going to happen here.
No.
You're like at our goal line.
I'm pretty sure you're dangerous back there.
Everybody knows what's coming. That's the thing. And like there's no There's no adaptation.
No.
The second unit does it differently. And they seem to honestly have more success entering the zone. Like Donskoy, I remember Donskoy was the one bringing it up, but then he would do other stuff. And I don't know if it's just so ingrained in Mac too, that he just has to do the same thing over and over again. But it's legit the whole unit because they just send him back 50 feet. Usually it's like Gabe or whoever, Gerard comes up the ice right now, and it's just like, I'm going up the ice. And then he just turns around, fires it back. And
I can't stand it. I've said it a million times. I can't stand that zone entry. I cannot deal with it.
yeah.
Because when you fuck up and turn the puck over, they're gonna own you with a chance against.
Well, yeah, and like it completely just debacles your whole friggin' power play, and then you got to go back and do it again, and you're doing the exact same thing.
If you're lucky enough for them to actually dump it down. If they have a head of steam and all of a sudden it's a 2-on-1 because the only guy back is Landeskog or whoever dropped the puck.
Yeah.
It's
even if it's a high quality
the risk
chance
reward is just not there. Like, it's not a guaranteed zone entry.
Well, I just feel like it hasn't even worked. There's been no reward. Are you kidding me? Like,
that's what I mean. Like,
it's like, yeah, it's so predictable. It's
you're
I mean, maybe it's a personnel issue too. I don't know.
You're barely ever entering the zone, and the chances of you letting a shorthanded chance the other way go.
Well, especially when everybody freaking knows.
Well, yeah, and it's not just that, but like when 20 other teams in the NHL do it, that means they play the same defensive structure against 20 teams. They've got it down pat by game 70.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. And everybody knows how to defend against that now.
Yeah.
As you can see from this year, like it's pretty blatant that it's not working.
Dump
People
the
know how
damn puck in once in a while, and
Seriously.
maybe they'll open up.
Seriously, that's legit all you have to do. MacKinnon, we all know how fast you are. We see you skate up the ice with the puck. All you have to do is just freaking bank it in and go for it.
Hey, what about this crazy thought? Dump the puck in and draw another interference penalty because they don't want to let you fly by them.
Yeah, and it's true. And they're
Whoa.
always lined up on that blue line. Like there's 3 and then 1 staggered back usually.
Right? Like I don't.
Everybody's
I don't
stationary.
It drives me nuts.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. But other than that, like we did start to look a lot more engaged and, attentive. I think that was the biggest thing about this game, especially compared to like the defensive fails that we had prior to this game, was at least against San Jose, we had a lot, a much better effort overall. Like the team at least looked a lot more engaged and actually awake,
Yeah.
Because like those 2 games before this were like we were dreaming. We were daydreaming out there, just going for a little Sunday skate. That's what it looked like.
I said that, remember? Like minor hockey power play where you're just like, it's break time.
Yeah. Yeah. So, at least we brought some steam in this game a little bit. And that second period was the best period for us in this game. And, at least like we needed it. We needed it bad because the third period was not great. It was definitely not great by any means.
No.
And
the third period was a
God,
snoozer.
we got a 4th goal.
Which that was a really nice goal.
It was nice.
Donskoy and Comfer with the give and go.
Yeah.
That worked out perfectly, but just like the little touch passes, right? Like
yeah.
This is why
Give
give and
yourself enough
goes.
space.
This is why give and goes are so dangerous.
I feel like they're underused a lot too. In ways.
See
especially kind of that kind of.
Well, so this is the
rush.
thing is, yes, I kind of agree because you don't see them enough, and I think you should see them more. But the chemistry it takes to have a good give and go quickly like this,
That's true.
and just the circumstance. These guys are like 6 feet apart.
They're hauling ass. Too.
They're hauling ass. They're 6 feet apart,
Yeah.
and they literally just passed the puck around the defenseman.
Yeah, it was nice. I loved it.
And then all of a sudden, Donskoy just tips the puck in by Jones, and like Jones has to respect the fact that he thinks the puck is going to go far side.
Yeah.
So he slides far side, and then Donskoy just changes that, and it's short side.
Yeah. Yeah, it was good.
And to be honest, Jones played a really good game. Like he made some really nice saves.
For sure. Yeah.
Frankie.
I mean, he kept them in that for a bit.
Frankie, I wouldn't say had the best game.
Frankie's come back down to
However,
earth a little bit.
yes and no. Like,
but he's been pretty solid.
Frankie let in 3 goals. 3 of 3 goals were shots that you hope he makes a save on, but by no means they were not Frankie's.
Yeah.
Right? Like, the first goal, again, why didn't you stop it, Frankie? Second goal is a breakaway, in which he made a breakaway save like 5 minutes later.
Yeah.
To put the team up put the team up 1. And then the game, the last goal of the game, the 4-3 goal, is a power play goal, whatever. But it's a one-timer, no defense on the guy, like nothing he can do about it aside from be ready for the guy with the puck to shoot, and then all of a sudden he passes it across and it's a quick one-timer.
Yeah.
What's he supposed to do, right? So it's like,
Yeah.
I don't think he had that great of a game. At the same time, I think he stopped every shot he should have, plus some.
Yeah, it wasn't a bad game. By
Right?
any
So
means.
it's just,
Yeah.
it's not the Frankie we're used to, because the Frankie we're used to would have made the save on Melker Karlsson.
Yeah, that's true.
That's it. But that's literally one moment in this game that's different for Frankie. But at the same time, I watched that game, and I'm like, he looks a little,
Yeah. Agreed.
But then
That's
you
what
look
I
at
mean.
you look at the numbers and you look at stuff and you're like, well,
He's still putting it. He's still putting it up.
he did a
so.
fine job,
Yeah, exactly.
right? So it's just like, this is why goaltending is such a hard thing or hard position to play, is because it's hard to win.
Well, and
Like it's hard to do your job.
It's hard to do your job, and it's hard to do your job to make up for other people's jobs as well. You know,
Which is an Avs goalie's nightmare.
Seriously, it's like you can play good when they're playing good, but when you get 5 breakaways against a game,
Well, yeah, you
might let one in.
You look at some of the best goalies in the league, like Hellebuck, like a Vezina caliber season behind one of the worst defenses in the league,
Yeah,
and you're like, you have to be that good to win a Vezina, to be the best in the league. It's
Yeah.
Jesus.
exactly.
But yeah, so that was game ends 4-3. That was with 45 seconds to go, roughly, that they get within 1 and
Yeah,
then
it
the
was
Avs
kind
shut
of
her down.
sketch, but it was a really, honestly, like you already said, like that was just honestly a pretty good power play goal again. Like you got to credit San Jose, they did have some fight in this game.
Mm-hmm.
And like you said, Jones had a pretty good game. Like he made some pretty big saves in this one. But yeah, we forgot to talk about the one thing, the little Graves slash too.
Oh yeah, I forgot we were talking about that.
So I can't even remember who was it.
This
Oh
is
yeah,
what-
Timo Meyer.
This is what
That's who
happens
it
when you
was.
leave your notebook at home like an idiot.
But yeah, I can't even exactly remember when this was in the third period. I'm pretty sure it was before all the goals though and stuff, or maybe in between. I don't know.
No, I think it was before Donskoy.
Yeah. But like Timo Meyer's stick gets caught in Graves' skate,
Something.
and like pretty much he kind of trips him, but
Graves hacks his hand
it's crazy.
so hard.
Like I don't think he meant to hack the hand. Like I think he just meant to get the stick.
I think so.
But
too.
holy shit, dude. You can't be doing a full wood chopper's motion in hockey. You just can't.
You brought it up to me while we were chatting about this, and you're like, man, it reminds me of Mathot. I'm like,
Right,
oh, yeah.
right. The Crosby
Yeah.
Mathot slash, like... Because, seriously, imagine if he catches that finger a little bit more clean. That was a
Well, like-
full-out wood chopper's...
For those of you who don't remember, Crosby, like, it wasn't even that hard of a slash.
That's the scary thing, too, about that,
But
right?
he just caught Mathot right where the tip of his finger, like from his first knuckle to the fingertip,
That was
just
nasty.
fucking cut right off.
That was nasty.
And you're just like, man, and if you remember that, it was not that hard. And Graves 100% hit him harder than that.
Oh, man, like, honestly... And you cannot bitch about getting that call. If you go overhand too, it doesn't matter if you're sitting on the ground. You know how much force you're getting on that thing?
God, man.
You freaking do that motion, and maybe even if you miss someone, you're getting a penalty. Because
Yeah.
that's like, dude, maybe you're frustrated. Yeah, there's also a guy's stick stuck in your skate. But, dude,
Dude, he's
like,
right.
don't do that. Please don't do that.
So, yeah, 2 points for the Avs. You know,
Much needed.
I think they kept pace with St. Louis
Yeah.
on Sunday. The nice thing would have been to, beat LA on Monday and catch up. But you know, the Avs have other plans because that's what they do. Seems like they don't. I don't think they want to finish first.
And I mean, there's some kind of weird thing going on with LA and Colorado this year. Like the whole game again, I'm just thinking like of this would happen.
Like, why does LA have the Avs number?
Honestly, I have a theory about this too, though.
Because the Avs won the second game, and then
they only won 2-1.
Yeah, they lost the Stadium Series, then they won the next one, and then they lost this one.
And like that was a big time fight to win that second game against them.
And you're just like, you guys are last in the West, man.
And I mean, also, we already kind of talked about how, you know, being without playoff hopes kind of opens up your carefree zone and your flow, you know. So that's one thing I think for sure for LA, and we already talked about that. They're on their 6-game winning streak now.
The other thing is that you have so many players that are playing for a job next year.
Yeah, that too, right?
Right, like,
and there's some young dudes, right?
Yeah, right.
That have barely, you know, played 5 games even.
Well, go down the list. Austin Wagner scored the first goal from Prokhorkin and Walker.
Yeah.
Okay, sweet. So those are 3 young guys looking for a job next year.
Which is, it's also kind of the fun part, I guess. That's like the only good thing about not making the playoffs and knowing you're not making the playoffs is you get to see all the prospects kind of what they're all about and everything.
It's only fun
it's like
for
this
like
Mikey Anderson guy.
Well, I was going to say Mikey Anderson from Martin Furk and Velarde.
Furk has been pulled up, right?
The only reason I know Martin Furk is because the dude's got a bomb. That's it. That's all I got.
Yeah, and I think he played a bit last year too.
Yeah, he's definitely been around.
He's been around, but he was in the A for quite a bit this year.
Again, playing for a job.
Yeah.
And then their third goal was Iafallo from Hutton and Doughty. Mm-hmm. Well, obviously Iafallo's been around. Doughty, duh. But Hutton, I don't know. Couldn't tell you. Right?
But yeah, like the thing is I feel like their strat that they've played against the Avs is the exact strat that every team has to have against the Avs, and that's legit just swarming them with your body, not letting them have any kind of time or space, making their life extremely difficult. And it's kind of a double-edged sword because if you play it too loose in that way, Avs are a team that will completely bite you in the ass.
Eat you alive.
Right? It has happened this year. I've seen this strategy work. Example, LA. Anaheim kind of has done it this year.
Boston
Dallas
does it to a greater success rate.
Yeah. But there's also been times when teams have literally, like, we've domed them when they tried to do it and they fail, and we use our speed to basically out.
Well, it's the new NHL where physicality is always going to be there. But if you can't skate and be physical, you're going to get destroyed.
That's the thing, too, right? You need to still play with an extreme amount of speed. And that's what it's all about. It's like a heavy forecheck, and also, it's honestly, you got to watch the stretch pass a lot. And that's another thing is like when we get shut down with our big stretch passes from breakout, my God, how often do we get in ruts where we just cannot break out for shit? And you're just like,
just trying to stretch pass and stuff,
boys?
And you're just like, God.
And that was like a lot earlier in the season. We had a big issue with wingers leaving too early and defense making bad passes, being pressured too much, giving it up, blah, blah, blah. But, I mean, the Kings do a really good job of, like, swarming you. And just, like, you have no time, and these big guys are bearing down on you all the time, especially with the state of our freaking roster. It's like, it doesn't necessarily surprise me when we lost this game, but this game was a weird game.
Well,
I have not, this is probably the weirdest game I've watched the Avs play this year, mixed in with probably one of the worst.
Yeah.
Especially the first period. Like, what the
this
fuck
game,
we were doing.
For the first 2 periods, Frankie was unreal.
So good.
The first, before the first goal, he was good, obviously. But, man, after LA got on the board with the second one, Frankie was a friggin' beast.
Yeah. Yeah, he went on a tear.
Like, LA scores that second goal, and for the next 4.5 minutes, it felt like they were in the Avs zone for the rest of the period. And Frankie came up with save after save after save to end the period.
And that if you don't call that clutch, I don't know what you do, because we go down 3-0. We have no chance.
Like, okay, obviously you look at the score now and you're like, well, that second goal was the backbreaker. That was game over. Yeah, okay. But if it's 3-0, it's legit over.
Yeah. And like that's
Game,
the thing
set,
too,
match.
is it was only 2-0.
It should have been 3
Right.
or 4.
Yeah. And
After 1, never mind after 2.
and like, yeah, with our everybody that's in the lineup, we maybe still have a chance. You never know. Someone can get a lucky one. Like Nishushkin had a crazy good game.
Somebody can get a lucky one, like Belmar.
Exactly, right? Exactly.
So, okay,
Well,
Austin
like-
Wagner scores the first one.
Both of those first 2 goals for LA were just like, why? Why is this happening?
Avs, you want to fucking do stuff?
And like, geez, like they were just like garbage luck combined with just lackadaisical efforts.
So the first one, Prokhorkin or whatever, however you say
Prokhorkin.
it, rips it on net. Like, that was a rocket.
Yeah.
And the rebound goes into MacKinnon, and rather than skating it out front of the net, he tries to, like, all he should have done was just skate into the corner. But instead, he tried to, like, make a play with it while he was skating through the crease and then dropped it, which,
Yeah.
again, you don't want to get caught, like, holding the puck in the crease. And obviously,
That's true.
it's unlucky and all this stuff. I get it. But, dude, just, like, don't worry. Just skate away. Like,
Yeah.
just rip out of the crease. Because if you drop it in the crease, it's not better. Right? If you're fumbling around trying to find it, it's just...
It's a hard situation.
It sucks. And then he drops it, like, right beside the net and keeps skating.
Yeah. It's
Which,
just
like again, I'm not blaming MacKinnon on this one because it's, like...
you can't really.
It's such a weird, fucked up play.
Yeah.
But it's just, like... He should have let it hit him and just, like, don't worry about the puck, man. Like, don't try and find it so you can, like, put it on the ice or anything. Just get behind the net where it's not dangerous anymore.
Yeah.
And then, Wagner comes around, wide open net, puts it in.
Yeah.
Whatever. It is what it is. The second goal, Connaughton. What a snipe. What a beautiful tip.
It was just like
wrong net, though, bro.
Oh man.
You're supposed to do that at the other end of the ice.
I mean, it's hard to even
How many
really blame him
times-
too much, but it's just
Oh,
like
100% we're blaming him on
Well,
that.
yeah, I know, but like it's just like
A puck that's a muffin.
Of course
that's
that
going
would happen.
straight to your goalie.
yeah.
And I can tell you the amount of times I've gotten mad at you or Brett or any other defenseman that's played in front of me for that exact same garbage.
I don't do that. I don't try and block pucks. Who are you kidding?
Yeah,
I don't block pucks.
Nobody tries to block pucks, but they're like, I don't want to skate into the corner, so I'm going to try and get it here. And then they put it in their own net. The amount of times defensemen are like, oh, I can stop this. Which, the thing is for Frankie now, and for every goalie ever, every time there's a puck coming in on net like this, it's now an instant heart attack because you're like, oh man, this puck's going to hit a stick and like flutter on net now.
Yeah. I mean,
No matter how sure-handed you think your teammate is, it's always a heart
well,
attack.
yeah, that's
every
got to be a
time.
concern because, and also like off-speed pucks are a whole different ball game too, right?
Man, anytime you can think about making a save before it gets there,
yeah,
it's
yeah.
terrifying.
You want it to be reactionary, not like, okay, so it's gonna do what now?
Dump-ins?
Ah.
Dump-ins on
Yeah.
net are the fucking
Yeah,
worst.
that would be you like you wonder why you see so many of those.
If
too,
I can
right?
think about my save before I make it, I overthink it every single time.
Yeah.
Every single time.
I mean, it does it to a lot of goalies, man. You're not. It happens in the NHL, so I mean, you're
But yeah.
definitely not the only one that thinks that way.
This one definitely cannot. Maybe don't put your stick in the way.
Yeah, it's just like
Just
man,
let Frankie control it. Take the face off.
Yeah,
Whatever.
that was rough because it was just like nice.
But
tip,
this is
dude.
This is what I like about it with the next 4.5 minutes for Frankie, is he could have easily let that bug him, and instead he just absolutely went nuts.
Oh, and it was like right away following this, and that like, LA went to take control of this
LA
game.
could have had 3 goals in the next minute,
Oh yeah, and yeah, Frankie played amazing.
which again, that's not easy, because he could easily be like the whole, sports psychology thing. You just got to let it go. Think about the next one. That's not easy, especially when your teammate scores on you like that.
Right, especially, I mean, that probably rattles you a little bit. Well, depending on the goalie, it probably it's a rattle anyway.
Well,
when your teammate does something to
at this point,
screw it.
Frankie's probably got what, like 7 or 8 saves. It's already 1-0,
Yeah,
and now he's like, I've been playing this well, and now all of a sudden it's 2-0, and it's not even my fault and stuff like that, and it's just like that stuff creeps in your brain. And thankfully for the Avs, it didn't. Not that it helped in the points aspect of it, but
gave him a chance for sure.
It's one of those like stepping stones of maturity for a goalie, especially in the NHL, right? And man, was he fun to watch in this first and second.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, it was. I mean, even Nichushkin, he had a really good game, honestly, in this game. But his first period, he had some interesting plays. He had a couple really bad giveaways. One resulted in which this is near the start of the game, pretty much resulted in a 2-on-0. But he legit backchecks his ass off, and he actually gets back, totally redeems himself. Well, also Frankie a bit, because Frankie did make a little bit of a save on that.
I believe that back check is the one that's the cover photo on the NHL site.
I was just looking at that, and yeah, I think you're right. Yeah.
Or like the game.
Yeah, the game
recap or whatever.
But then he does it again later on in that period. I think this is right after that goal, and then the crazy sequence of Frankie making some really nice saves. We get it back down or we're trying to get it out. Nichushkin gives it up again. It's like, oh god, we gotta not do that.
Yeah.
But yeah, like LA just making us uncomfortable that entire period. Physical.
So the first ends up 11-4 shots for the Kings. We get to the second, no goals in the second, but it was not boring.
Yeah, honestly, it's. Oh, actually, I'll get there later.
Second ends up 16-8, so just about as bad for the Avs. I don't know where you're gonna start. Frankie's breakaway save, 5 minutes into the period.
Yeah, because of what? A giveaway at the blue line? Nah.
Wait.
That doesn't happen.
They don't do that. No.
It's like, dude, this is just like a blatant misread, honestly, and just getting too comfortable. But Girard and Johnson just decide to play pitch and catch
with the Kings.
Like, it's like, okay, Girard passes to Johnson. Okay, it's fine. Johnson passes back. No, it's gone. The lane's gone.
It's not even a good read by the Kings. It's just a bad pass.
Yeah, seriously. It's just like, what, dude, no. You can't pass through people, and then he's just gone.
Like, it's not like he jumped the pass. He just like...
Oh, he was like there pretty much when Girard passed.
Yeah.
And then I can't remember who it was, but man, that's the kind of crap that has been plaguing us again lately.
But again,
these offensive blue line giveaways. What the hell are we supposed to do?
But again, Frankie's clutch makes
glove
a
save, man.
A couple minutes later, Landeskog wide open net after MacKinnon gets him open.
What happens?
And ting, crossbar.
So
why not?
Classic. Actually, you know what? I think LA actually hits a couple posts in this game.
They did, yeah.
So there's a little bit of payback at least.
Yeah, I'm not sure how many good posts there were in this game, but there was a couple bad ones.
At least 2, I think.
I think the bad post counters to 89 or something.
Yeah, jeez.
Ridiculous. Ridiculous, man.
But yeah, I mean, I don't even know what to say. But
yeah, I don't know. 5 or 6 minutes later, Chuchi gets a penalty shot.
Yeah, right.
I don't know what he was trying to do. Lull quicken some early sleepies or.
Oh yeah, he just.
I've never liked the slow penalty shot / shootout move,
especially when you're playing against Jonathan Quick.
So it works if you're a guy like Patrick Kane, where you have hands that are the speed of light.
That can be that quick.
Right? Because the thing is, when you're going slow, you have to get the goalie to bite on a move. And the thing with being slow is you can make several more moves than if you're going quick. Like, if you're going fast, you have time to make maybe 2 moves.
Yeah.
But if you're Patrick Kane and you're crawling in at a snail's pace, you can make 15.
Yeah.
And eventually the goalie's going to bite on one and you're going to go around him.
Yeah.
Well, if you're going in slow, and you're trying to catch a guy like Jonathan Quick on a quick shot, good fucking luck.
Yeah, especially when he's just staring at you down. And
He's staring at you, and he's
not biting at all.
He's 6 feet out of the paint.
It's funny because basically Quick almost makes him bite.
Yeah.
Because he starts moving a bit, and then he's just like, nah, I got you.
Which, the funny thing is where Nichushkin actually ended up shooting, which was 5-hole, was there.
Yeah.
He just didn't get a very good shot off because he tried to be too quick about it.
Yeah.
Because he was going too slow. Catch what's
Makes
going on
sense.
here, right? It's just like, this is the problem with going slow.
Yeah.
Is you end up having to again, it's just like the other way around. You have time to overthink it.
Yeah, and I feel like, you're right. The only players that can really pull off that slow are the extremely skilled.
Pasternak.
It's the guys who can really play the mind games with you too, right? Because like if you're simple, not trying to call Nichushkin a simple offensive player, but basically he is.
The one thing I'll give Nichushkin, when do you think his last penalty shot was?
That was the crazy thing. They said that he had already had 3 penalty shots in his career, and I was like, what?
But
how many games has the guy played?
But that's still like probably at least 3 years ago in the NHL.
Yeah. I mean,
because it hasn't been this year.
Yeah, he hasn't had one this year.
Right, so it's like
I think that's the only penalty shot we've had this year. I don't
remember.
It's
the only one I can think of.
I think so though.
Right, so it's things like that where it's just like I'll give him a pass a little bit because it's like you don't get them very often. He doesn't go in the shootout very often, I don't think either. I think he's maybe gone once or twice this year.
Yeah. Also, we haven't really been in too many shootouts this year.
Right, so it's just like
not a lot of practice.
I'll give him that.
Yeah.
But at the same time, the slow entry or whatever you want to call it is just it so rarely works.
Yeah.
That
like if you're gonna do that too, you either have to have crazy hands or you gotta be ready to really rip a top shelf corner or something.
That and so another thing with going fast is you can get the goalie to telescope faster than he wants to.
Yeah.
Like that's the change of speed.
Or
that's
kind
what
of
that
misread
does, right?
angles or something.
Yeah, so if you're cruising in and all of a sudden he's going too slow, then you deke around him. Easy.
Yeah.
If you're coming in quick and he goes in too quick, well, all of a sudden you got a ton of net open.
Yeah, now you got more angle to shoot.
If you're going in slow, man, a guy like Jonathan Quick is going to have no problem.
That's the other thing. I feel like going in slow just completely limits what you can do, right? Yeah. Another
Movement
thing.
and pressure, right? There's just nothing.
Like just before that penalty shot too, it was like halfway through the third, or sorry, halfway through the game, I should say, even. The Avs had 7 shots on net. 30 minutes of play, 7 shots on net.
Fucking man.
So that just kind of, and honestly, probably 4 of those were in the last like 4 minutes of the, or I don't even know. Anyway, terrible. You gotta, I don't know. This game was so weird, man. You could just tell, like the whole especially after the first 2 goals, you're like, oh yeah, we're losing this game. Like we look wilted. Is
20-ish seconds after Nichushkin's penalty shot, Ian Cole, for whatever reason, gets absolutely robbed by Quick.
Yeah.
Backdoor.
Yeah, I mean, and right away I was like, because this is just after kind of, seeing how little of output offensively the Avs had. And I was like, man, Quick is a very solid mental goalie.
Yeah.
Like,
that's the thing, man. Like, it's hard as a beer league goalie to not have very many shots, and I'm playing for an hour.
Yeah.
I couldn't imagine having 7 shots through half a game.
Right.
That's like, I don't know, hour and a half almost of time, like of real time.
Yeah.
Probably an hour and 40 since warm up.
Yeah, and you've touched 7 pucks.
Woo.
And like that's like just after the penalty shot too. It's like, man, he was like still awake.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. So it's very crazy. It's definitely one of those. It's another one of those sports psychology things that you got to get really good at to be a pro goalie or a pro player. Period. Because you think that's tough for a goalie. At least he's on the ice. Imagine these guys that are getting like 5 or 6 minutes of ice time, like we talked about last episode.
Right.
Speaking of, I haven't looked at it for these games.
The ice time. I don't think it was as bad, but
Yeah.
honestly, it's
O'Connor-
because it was forced.
O'Connor had 7 minutes still. So.
Yeah.
Barbera had 5.
Yeah, I think for the most part, our fourth line has been always playing under 10 minutes lately, which is honestly another just not a recipe for success kind of situation, right? I mean, you can't really blame them, though, because, I don't know, especially when we're trying to win games, it's kind of hard to be playing these guys who definitely don't necessarily deserve to be playing. But anyway, yeah, like, just after that Cole chance is kind of when I noticed anyway, where the hell did MacKinnon go?
Oh, yeah.
Because he was playing and then he was gone. And that was immediate panic. My stomach just dropped. And I'm like, oh, God, no. And, immediately the first thought was just like, oh, please don't be out for a long time. So at least we can live with a week or two.
Yep.
I don't know how many games we're going to win. I'm trying to be positive here, but honestly, you kind of gotta expect that we're gonna lose some games here. Thank God we have Makar back for this game tonight for us, and hopefully tomorrow we're all listening to this podcast and we're like, yeah, it's a good thing Makar come back because he killed it. I'm sure he will.
McCalder is back on track, hopefully.
Oh yeah, hopefully.
But yeah, I guess quickly we're running out of time as usual.
Scheiße.
Third period rolls along. I guess this was pretty quick, right? Into the period, but Belmar's goal, I kind of touched on earlier. Lucky as fuck. Like, that
would
is
be a goal that we score in this game, too.
Horseshoes right up his ass.
Right, and it's funny because at the start of the second period, I wrote at the top of my page, I'm like, we really need to get a goal from someone like Belmar. And then he scored in this game. And, like, I think I've been talking about that, like, I think it was last episode where it's just like, we need someone like Belmar to score because he hasn't scored in so long. He can score.
Start every game by writing, like, the whole lineup?
I know, right? Like, this guy needs to score. This guy needs to score. Frankie needs a shutout. It's just like, that's his 9th goal. But remember how, like, he scored all his goals. I don't even know how long it's been since he scored.
December?
Yeah, I should have actually looked at it, but that's probably legit.
Feels like it.
And like, he was scoring a few times at the start of the year, and that hugely helped.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he helped win some games early. Like, he scored both times we played Vegas early on in the season. Yep. But man, you think we needed him to score that game? Like, we're gonna need all these guys. We need everyone to pitch in here. Like, it's gonna be a struggle, and especially because only Gerard and Graves had scored against LA the last 2 games we've played them.
Right.
They were the only goals, and it was 2 defensemen.
I forgot about that.
Which was also a big talk on the broadcast, right? Like, they mentioned it probably way too many times that I wanted to hear. But honestly, it's like, dude, we need someone to score. And thank God Belly, it's like, what a snipe. It's just like, whatever.
It's one of those ones where you're like, he let that in?
Yeah,
Of
which
all
also
goals.
for Quick, it was like, what the hell?
Which
It was
after the game, he's like, seriously, I don't have a shutout after
Yeah.
that. Like, fuck.
But, I mean,
couple of
thank
nice big glove saves by Frankie with like 6 minutes to go or something. Or
Yeah,
sorry,
I mean-
that was like 6 minutes into the period.
yeah,
Classic.
there was a. Was that on the PK? I'm trying to think.
I don't
No, it's
think
just
so.
after, I think. But
It was
of
on
course,
Kopitar.
Big Z got a holding penalty. It's a pretty lazy penalty again, too.
Weird. It's like he sat out for 3 games for that.
Yeah, I'm not gonna rip on him because it's just what's the use?
Yeah.
He's almost seeming like a lost cause right now.
Well, no, it's because he's in Bednar's doghouse, right? Not for no reason.
Yeah,
For no reason.
because he plays really well.
O'Connor, like right around the middle of the third period, which, again, for a guy that had 7 minutes to ice time, that glove save by Quick that he had on him around the midpoint of the third,
Mm-hmm.
dude, really nice shot.
Yep.
It's just he only had glove side to go to, and Quick was on his game. There's no way he was beating him.
Yeah.
Really good shot for a guy that barely was playing.
Yeah.
But, a few minutes after that, I follow just a hard-working goal, I believe. Yeah, right. This is the one. Oh, yeah. Sorry. Before the goal, like 6 minutes left in the third, When Frankie goes out for that nice big diving poke
Oh,
check.
yeah.
Oh, my butthole.
I forgot about that.
Jesus.
Who was that? Too?
I can't remember who was on.
either. Oh, I wrote down his number right because it wouldn't show his damn. It was number 46. Whoever 46 is on LA. I never looked it up. I forgot.
I'll figure it out. Keep talking.
But yeah, just gets absolutely wrecked by Frankie coming out for that puck. I love it, honestly. It was scary, but I mean, he was fighting to.
Who was it?
I believe it was 46. Maybe I
Oh
wrote.
yeah, Lizotte.
Okay, yeah, there you go.
I
That's
thought you
probably...
said 47. I'm like, there's no 47.
yeah. I was like, maybe I did. Maybe I wrote down the number wrong. But yeah, like, yeah, and that was like, yeah, right before the Iafallo goal.
Yeah,
right?
and then like a minute later, Iafallo steals the puck away, dekes out Frankie, and buries.
Yeah.
And that's the game, folks.
I mean, I could just tell, like, this game was so bad.
Yeah.
And it was
then,
just
you know,
depletion.
Naturally, I had to write down 20 seconds left when they smoked the post again.
Oh, yeah, I just went, Jost hits C-bar, LOL. Because that's pretty much what I did. I'm like, he hit the crossbar. Yeah.
What I did want to talk about was the 6 guys that were on the ice when the net was empty. Nemesnikov, Landeskog. All right, fair.
It's like, yeah, okay.
Nichushkin, Comfort, Gerard, and Connaughton.
Yeah.
What the fuck is that?
This is what we're working with, people.
That's how you lose to the LA Kings, right there.
I mean, it was just like, I don't know. Like, this is what we got. That's all I could really say in this game. Like, I was just the whole time, I'm just like, I don't know, man. Like, this is the game we got tonight.
It's out of my control.
It's
I can't do
not happening. I will say, the one I think Nishushkin, honestly, if we're saying anything about offensive-ness in this game, I think Nishushkin was like the only one showing any kind of flair of any kind. Basically, like, I don't know, Landy I think was pretty decent again, but nothing special, right? Honestly, I think the player that had the best game, other than maybe Frankie, and other than his one giveaway that we already talked about, but Eric Johnson played like an absolute beast in this game. And he's been stepping up huge lately. He kind of has to, because our freaking defense just seems so decimated, even though only one is injured. If we're not talking about like
Zadorov's brain being injured.
Like, yeah, I mean, he's kind of broken right now. Like, the amount of ice time that Eric Johnson has gobbled up lately too, and like the way he's playing, like in this game, man, he was fighting all night long. And he even had some offensive chances, like he was driving some plays and like taking the puck in, not just doing kind of the normal Eric Johnson rush where he would just like take it in over the line, then he'll stop or something, D to D or down low, start a cycle. He was like pushing the pace.
Yeah.
For like offensively as well. So, I mean, kudos to him. We're gonna need him big time here, cause like holy crap, we have no MacKinnon now. Like,
well, in the next
everyone just looks tired too.
So same thing, right? If MacKinnon's out 2 weeks, that's probably 6 games.
Yeah.
Actually, it's probably 7 if he's out 2 weeks against some substantial opponents.
Yeah.
You got the Rangers tonight.
Because now it gets scarier.
He got the Rangers tonight.
Not going to be easy.
You got the Canucks on Friday.
Not going to be easy.
Wasn't easy last time.
Yep.
Probably won't be easy this Friday. Vegas on Sunday. Those 3 games will be covered on next episode.
Yeah, I've got the matinee on Sunday.
The afternoon game for Vegas on Sunday. And then Tuesday is the Sharks again, which seems like a toss-up against them.
Yeah, I feel like you never really know what you're getting with San Jose this year.
Then you got Nashville on the Thursday, Montreal on the Saturday, which if you get Carey Price of old, then watch out. And then we're back in Minnesota for another barn burner there.
Yeah.
And they're still, trying to push for the playoffs, so
yeah,
that's
we have
spicy 2 weeks worth of games if MacKinnon misses them all.
Yeah, we have some, desperate teams coming up here too, especially those two Pacific teams.
But Bednar says we should see most of the injured guys back for this homestand, which is Kadri, Burakovsky, Calvert,
Hopefully.
Grubauer, hopefully.
Honestly, I feel like we
Brandon.
need Grubauer back real bad right now.
I was going to say after the San Jose game that Frankie kind of felt tired to me, like just the way he looked.
Yeah.
And then he goes and absolutely steals the show in a back-to-back in LA. And you're like,
Yeah, he played really
what the
well.
hell happened, Frankie?
Yeah, but
Eventually it's going to wear down on him for sure.
We need that. We need that back.
Which, again, lucky enough for the Avs, they don't actually have a back-to-back till after the end of March.
Mm-hmm. Right, yeah.
Actually, no, they don't have a back-to-back for the rest of the year.
Yeah, I don't think we do. I think that was our last one,
Yeah.
actually, yeah. Right, so, I mean, at least we got that in our favor.
But still, you're not going to play the same guy for the next 12 games.
Preferably not.
Or 13 games, I guess.
Yeah, so.
So right before we leave here, just wanted to kind of touch on the Corona stuff. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a part of the World Health Organization, so I'm not exactly going to give my opinions on it. But shit's going sideways, and it seems like hockey games are getting fanless in a hurry.
Yeah.
Right before we came on air, the NBA announced all of their games are going without fans. The first one of those games that was scheduled was the Golden State Warriors versus I don't even remember. Doesn't matter who they were playing, but it was in Golden State. They were already under the same thing San Jose is now under, where they weren't allowed to have gatherings over 1,000 people.
Mm-hmm.
As we were recording, that game got postponed. That game didn't even happen. So, watch the fuck out. That's a mandate across the entire NBA. I would not be surprised to see that be a mandate over the entire NHL.
Yeah, it's already traveling that kind of way now. You
were kind of talking about postponing stuff potentially. That game tonight got postponed. Sorry, not canceled. Look at March Madness. It's fanless, aside from family.
Yeah.
If you want to go to a hockey game anytime soon, I would go now. Like right now. It might be the last chance you have this year.
Yeah.
Don't go buy toilet paper though. Stop.
Toilet paper won't save you.
I'm not sure what it's like in Colorado, but in Calgary and a lot of the rest of the world, it's fucked.
Yeah, I don't.
Costco has no toilet paper. This is ridiculous. I don't even understand why.
Makes sense, but okay.
I know, it's funny. It's hilarious that people are buying toilet paper.
It's hilarious
crazy.
until you have to know toilet paper.
What happens when I run out of my toilet paper? I don't want to be one of those people, but if I don't have any toilet paper, I gotta be.
Yeah.
But no, really, to be serious, wash your hands, all that stuff. It's a thing.
Well,
I heard some stat, and I don't know if this is real, but projections of 75 million people in the States gonna eventually have corona.
Yeah, right.
It's that's fucking crazy.
Yeah, I mean, it's starting to happen. What is it? Columbus, Arizona, San Jose.
If it gets
at
to
least those three,
if it gets to 10 teams in the NHL, it's gonna be all of them.
Oh man!
And I know this is bigger than money, but for anybody who thought the salary cap was gonna go up, this ain't gonna happen now. Like
legit, already. That's already gonna put an end.
Those
to
those projections that were released last week are invalid.
Yeah.
Instantly.
Remember those numbers?
That
disregard.
Now again, when it comes to hockey, thankfully the Avs aren't a team that's up against the cap.
Yeah, straight up.
But obviously this is way bigger than that, and people's safety is far more important than going to a hockey game.
Definitely.
But at the same time, there's a lot of other people's livelihoods that are at stake, like the people that work at these arenas and stuff like that. So
it's going to be a tough stretch.
It's going to be a rough 6 months, I think.
Yeah.
But yeah, so on that very positive note, thanks for tuning in. Again, this is not your source for Corona news. Don't listen to us dummies. But wash your hands,
Wash your hands.
Go to a hockey game if you're not sick.
Yeah. If you're sick, don't go out.
Don't wear a mask. Just don't go out. Anyway, thanks for tuning in, and enjoy your Avs game. Go Avs against the Rangers. Hopefully everybody's happy tomorrow. The biggest thing you can do to support us is by going to iTunes or Apple Podcasts and giving us a 5-star rating. Also, if you're looking to donate to the network, visit the Hockey Podcast Network's Patreon page. All donations go straight to the podcast host. Thanks, and see you next episode.
You're listening to the Hockey Podcast Network on Twitter @HockeyPodNet. New episodes every Monday and Thursday. Download at thehockeypodcastnetwork.com or wherever you get your podcasts from.